Hi, we are going to go over reports. Just take a couple minutes and go over a couple different types that you can run from the software. To get to your reports so that you can actually see which ones you have and to build, you'll go to settings and you go to reports. Once there, you'll see, a lot of times even if it's a brand new account, you'll have some built-in reports, like some sales, taxes, maybe even like rental sales, that sort of thing. Here's where they would show. If you wanted to add a report, you click here, and we'll just get right into it. We'll start with you're going to use leads reports mostly. The leads reports are going to pull information about your sales, about your actual events. Where if you were going to run, like, let's say a rental or inventory report, that's going to just show you information that you have saved about that item. Like if you run a rental report, you would do it from the inventory page, and it would just show you specific information for each rental, like the starting price. It has a description, it has pictures, that sort of thing, things that you saved on the software for the rentals. If you wanted to learn about the rentals and how many sales you have for each, that would still be a leads report. So that would be if you you can see like if it's been rented this month, how much, how many times, that sort of thing. So that would be the difference between the two. So we can start, since I spoke about it. Let's start with a rental report maybe. I guess I should say leads report, but let's do rental sales. You may have something like this on your account, but just give you a general view of this. So you can do rentals name. And let's say you want to have a line per rental item. So you want to say, this is the rental name, it's my bounce house, and I want to see how many times and how much I've got for that amount, for that item. So then you do rentals quantity. So rented. And then let me do total. No, let's do rental. Just price. Okay. So I'm grouping by the rental's name. That'll probably make more sense when we get to the report. So I'm just going to do this and save it. Now you also can apply filters here, and I'll explain that a little bit more too. I'll show you when you would apply a filter. So let's do this, and I'm going to run that report, rental sales, and here's all the rental sales. Let's say, because I can see a couple of them are slightly a different color, I think those are quotes. So here's where you could build the filter into the report, or you can just do it here. So let's say I want to see only completed leads, because I'm going to do this in the past. I'm going to do it for last year. And this is one of our, I guess you could say, dummy accounts. So let's see what pretend sales we had last year. I'm going to go January. I'm going to do December. Okay, so I have some. So here's our sales. Here's how many times each item was rented, and here's the total sales that you did for that item. And this is why I grouped, because now I can even go back and show you what it looks like if I don't group. I grouped by rental name, so it'll show you the total for each item. Now if I were to go back and take that rental, that grouping off, you'll see anything that was rented more than once is going to show more than once, because it's no longer grouped. There's times where, of course, something's probably different going to be grouped on each report you make. And we'll go over a couple different reasons, different scenarios for that. So there we go. That's showing us then all the sales for each item individually. All right, let's do it. Try another one. let's try one for more of a maybe a coming events type report, and that would be a good example of when you would want to use a filter, because of course it's coming events, there's like certain things that you want to see. So I'm going to start with lead ID, and here you would just put important things to you that you want to see when like you pull up a coming events report. So lead ID, you probably want to see the customer name, I think it's like a full name. There we go. Not worker name. Full name. There we go. Start date is usually important. And then I'm going to put that, and this is how you can move columns if you want to see them in a different order. The arrows here. Some people want to see all rentals listed. So you can do lead, rentals, and quantity on each event. Okay. Sometimes just like a quick lead city to know where you're going. And let's do paid. And let's do, that's how much they're going to be, they paid total on the event so far. And then the total sum. And then let's see if they have balance. There you go. So maybe that's just all the general information you want to see. Now, in this case, I would still group. I would group this by the lead ID. So it doesn't list each lead twice. Let's say if they made like 2 small payments on it, that sort of thing. So I'm going to group it by that, and I'm going to save this. Now, going back to real quick, things that you would want to see on a report like that, that's where the filter comes in. I won't go into filters too much because we have other classes for that. But let's do, I only want to see confirmed events. Status contains confirmed. I'll save that. And then this way, when I run this report, all I would need to see is, oops, we got more than one coming event. So is this one mine? Yeah. I'll put asterisks by it. All we will see is events that are confirmed. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use, they have one here, confirmed next 2 weeks. So I'll show you what that looks like real quick. That's a good idea. Filters, confirmed next 2 weeks. So lead status contains confirmed, and lead start date is the next 14 days. Now, I don't know how many leads we have saved in here. Coming events. No. Oh, that's from last year. See, this is where I still have last year's. But I don't have any confirmed events. Let me maybe just change a couple of these so we can see what it would look like. That date is fine. Let me change it to confirmed. Date is not fine. So, coming events. Oh, I see. There we go. So you'll see, that was the other coming events. I'm sorry. There we go. So, just pretend like I'm busier and we have more events here, but it will show the lead ID. It's only going to show this once because we are grouping it by lead ID, the start date, full name, what's rented, city, what's been paid, the total sum, and what is owed still. So they haven't paid anything yet, so it's still fully owed. This is similar to what is on the dashboard, which would be like this case, because this will show you like even things are closed out though. This will say, hey, they never signed their contract and that sort of thing, but same thing, deposit. But this is just a nice thing to have on your own Okay, what do we got going on the next 2 weeks? Do I need to send out a payment reminder? That sort of thing. That's another good example. It was pretty straightforward leads report. Let's try another one. Let's do a customer report. So customers. I'm focusing on the email on this. So I'm going to go full name. I'm going to do email. I'm going to do, oh, that's another one good. It's an email bounce. We're focusing on let's say we're focusing on our contacts between the customer by email. So let's focus on that. Do we have a last contact? Yeah. So there we go. Full name, contact. Let's see who has bounced emails, unsubscribed, and data for the last activity. Now, one thing, when I'm thinking of filters for customers, something that we can put in here is maybe they have a special customer tag. Another one is create date. You want to see how long have they been in the system as a customer? Has it been a year? Has it been 2 years? This sort of thing. So let's take a look. It's pretty straightforward. And in this one, in this particular scenario, let's say I don't really have any reason for any filters. There's just trying to pull the information that we have. So this is going to show you then all those columns when they were created. It's a nice one to have. Last activity. So none of my customers in this list are unsubscribed, but you also, if you have a long list, you can say, I know some people like to clean up their customers and say, okay, I want to delete anybody who doesn't have an email listed. So you can click here and delete here, saying that, maybe these are just customers that you've had no contact in. Maybe they got imported, something, and you just want to get rid of them. You can do that from here. But this is a good way of just saying, okay, when's the last time I spoke to these people or they had contact with us? My numbers are horrible because these aren't real people. Let's see. So that's a basic one for customers. And then let's look at inventory. So the inventory reports we would run from here. I think everybody's going to have there's one that's going to call common rental data. It's really long. So if you're exporting it, you may even want to break it down more. So let's build an inventory report real quick. Let's add report and rentals. Just kind of name it report info and start with a name. Location. If you have more than one location, it's nice to know which location it's listed under or both. Let's see. I know there's one about categories. There's one about categories and then the rental. Do that again. Category. Oh, that's ID. Let me see. I think there's a main category. I forget what it's called. I'll find it. Okay. I'll worry about that later. Price. I think it'll show just the starting price. It was not going to show every price that you have listed for one item. It's just going to be the base starting price. If it's, $200 for 4 hours, something like that. Maybe you want to see any dimensions. DC description. And let's see, you want to see if this is a good way to check. Let's see if it has any pictures saved. And you can do multiple, but I'll just do one. So it's just going to tell you if it has, show you oh, I don't have any images saved for this one, that sort of thing. Oops. Okay, so let's take a look. Save this. We go to inventory and rental info. So you'll see here, I got this information here. It doesn't have any description. This is a good way to make sure rentals are fully filled out so they show on your website the way you want. So like all these, you'll look, all these obstacles here, none of them have dimensions, they don't have a description, and they don't have images saved. So this would be a good way to say, okay, I need to update all of these items. And then there are some built-in filters here. You can say, okay, I only want to see rentals. I don't want to see accessories, maybe, that sort of thing. That's about it for reports. I just wanted to go over some basics with you. We do this if you're still not sure, it's still not making 100% sure, sense to you. Contact us in support. We build these every day. So we as soon as you explain, hey, I want to see this and this and this, we're good at saying, oh, you'll need this filter, these columns. You know what I mean? So reach out anytime. Probably something like this would probably be best by email, and let us know if you need any help with these sort of things, any ideas, any filters that maybe you didn't think of but can be run along with a report so that you don't have to fill it out any time. That's one thing I will go over here real quick. Let's say that you're doing this rental sales. We kind of went over this before, like you don't want to necessarily see stuff that hasn't happened yet, the events that didn't go through. So let's say you'll want to say, okay, you can save a filter that says completed statuses only. So you can add that to the report. But let's say you know that you're going to want a different time frame each time. Like I want last you can just do this. Because if the date's going to change every time you pull up the report, put it here. If it's something like that coming events that it's going to be okay, I always want to see the next 2 weeks, that can be added to the filter. And statuses can be added to the filter. So just keep that in mind, just to make your life easier. If it's going to be something you're going to run on a regular basis, build whatever filters you can and add them to the report. Dates, usually though, I run here. If it's a payment date, if it's an event date, I run here. And everything else is attached to the report itself. All right. Thank you very much.